This is the Marvel Legends series X-Men Kitty Pryde. The figure is part of an 8-figure set of a wave of X-Men Marvel Legends figures for 2016, and the figures come with a part for a Build-A-Figure, and the Build-A-Figure is the Juggernaut. I picked up this figure at Kramer Toy Warden, and finally we've gotten a decent and fantastic Shadowcat Kitty Pryde figure after all these years, and I'm so happy I don't have to track down the Toy Biz version. Hasbro, you know, oh my goodness, they really pulled out all the stops on this one. This one is a fantastic figure. It uses that Jean Grey. I think it takes up it's very similar mold to the Jean Grey figure, which uses some of the body parts of Spider-Woman figures, or previous female figures that have been released in the past. I'm looking at more of the Spider-Woman figures from the Spider-Verse figure characters that they've used. They gave her new fists, new forearms. The torso is a new sculpt. The legs seem to be recycled, and obviously a new head sculpt. And I am just loving this figure. One of those stronger figures in the wave. She comes with Lockheed the Dragon, which she was always accompanying Kitty Pryde during her days with Excalibur. It's just made of this soft PVC material. There's no articulation on the figure, but a good color of plastic, and just painted eyes. Very nice. Put her right here. The figure also comes, as I mentioned, the right arm of the Juggernaut, as well as another BAF piece, the head of Magneto as the Red Onslaught. And if you're wondering why she has this, nothing to do with the Juggernaut. This is Hasbro's way of making up for the Red Onslaught Build-A-Figure that they had early on this year, 2016. And they gave us a Red Skull head, which is fine. But eventually, as the comic book progressed, that whole Axis thing, we get to see more of this Magneto styled head, and that looks like Onslaught. That is the Onslaught we know, the Red Onslaught we know from that comic, from that storyline, and so glad they actually did it. Not sure which one I'd use, but I'm leaning towards this one. I do like this whole Magneto head sculpt on him, and it looks more badass that way. So that's that. Okay. And on to Shadowcat. Magnificent sculpt. Already a big fan of the sculpt. Oh, what was that? Didn't see that. It's impossible to see that in the packaging. Paint apps, okay. If you're going to watch out for anything at all, make sure the eyes are painted nicely. The X, this is probably the area with the most paint issues. Make sure the X is squarely painted on, solid black lines, and red does not bleed into the black. Other than that, yellows, you'll get some of those flared edges, but nothing to be worried about. I mean, it's not a deal breaker or anything like that. The head sculpt is just fantastic. The ponytail is made so that it doesn't stick too close to the body, and that way you can articulate her head nicely. She's got a ball joint neck on a hinge, ball jointed upper torso, no waist, swivel ball hinge shoulders, elbows, ball hinge wrist, ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, ball hinge ankles with the rocker joints. And I'm gonna stand her up right now. If you are trying to build an Excalibur shelf, here is from Captain Britain, from that Captain America wave. Put Lockheed here. Wave 3 of the Captain America wave. And if you're a big fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like I am, I'm just loving the new comic book where she's now teamed up with Star-Lord and the rest of the Guardians, with the Thing and with Space Venom, with Venom Space Knight. It looks great. So it's going to be tough in which shelf to put her on my Cosmic shelf or on the X-Men shelf. I'm thinking I'm going to put her in the X-Men shelf, but it's already too crowded. Until she leaves the Guardians, she's going to go on my Cosmic shelf. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed this little video review. The Marvel Legends series 6-inch scale Kitty Pryde from the X-Men Marvel Legends wave of 2016. Thanks for watching.